it's right by One Manor in Saint the Syrian Church at Lorraine and 12 Miles. It's going to be landlocked. One Manor, one is the only street out. Yeah. Well, Cole Street, 130 east, 92, two bedrooms. Because I look at the back up.
Yep.
And then the rest are single family. That's 200 cars
Good times.
to the area. Oh yeah, I'm being conservative. I mean, if you've ever looked up shoehorn in the dictionary, this is shoehorn. Other stuff. Hey, it helps me prepare.
Yeah, so,
I'm glad they just deleted it.
take
So
it
that
out,
way
check it out.
you can get more people on main time.
And this company,
VIP are the ones that own Town Center.
that's what,
Hey Lori, this company, VIP, they already own the Town Center
and they do a
condos.
lousy job of keeping up with it. Yeah, I'm sure they'll move right along. I'm sure I would be in awe remembering how it was. Now how it is. The old the vultures got there and stripped it of everything.
I'm now calling to order a meeting of City Council, Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Councilwoman Rogancy.
Here.
Councilman Dwyer.
Here.
Councilwoman McGee.
Here.
Councilman Noonan.
Present.
Councilman Lafferty.
Here.
Councilman Boyke is absent. And Councilwoman Moore is present. Motion to excuse Mr. Boyke.
Support Lafferty.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next item.
Next item is adoption of the consent agenda. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 5, adoption of the agenda. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. We have a couple of items that were sent over late by the administration. I'm going to say this again. This sending over items late is just not the right way to do business. I'm going to ask that these put on, and if it's not enough time for council people to make a decision, you know, whatever, and they'll table them. But I don't know why things can't be sent over in a timely fashion. I get that emergencies happen, and we always deal with emergencies, or if somebody tells us ahead of time, hey, I've got this coming, and we know about it. But just to say, oh, here's a late item, like it's no big deal. It is a big deal, because we miss then putting it on notice to the public, and nobody has the time that, to look at things. So that being said, add 13B, which is a resolution to grant the Historic District Commission's request to hire and appropriate funds for grant writer Ryan Cotton and matching funds if an America 250 Michigan History Grant is awarded to the HDC. And as 13C, request for an increase in budgeted appropriations from the engineering department. And I would like to add under council business 12E, discussion read job posting. And update, no, I'll ask that in calendar pending. Thank you. Sorry. That's it.
Any other discussion? Okay. Seeing and hearing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is calendar pending matters. Motion to receive and file with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion.
Thank you. I actually didn't look to see if that actually got on the calendar, the letter we requested that the clerk send to the Senior Housing Commissioner. And I was wondering if Ms. Camp, you could check with the clerk's office and get a copy of that and see if that's been sent out yet. And going forward, we maybe want to make that part of our resolution, that we get copied on that letter, any letters that are sent, so that we know what the status is.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7A, approval of the bills of the General Revenue Fund. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7B, approval of the bills of the water and sewer system. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is audience participation for agenda items only.
Good evening. Members of the audience who would like to address City Council this evening may do so by filling out an audience form on the right side of the stage. You have 3 minutes. This audience is for agenda items only. There is time at the end of the meeting for general audience. First is Gary Watts.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to say that I would encourage a no vote on the council rules change for filling out the forms, because I think it would put some people at a disadvantage. If there's a problem with a couple of people, then maybe deal with the problem childs. So the other thing I wanted to say is I see there's another contract award under the consent agenda tonight for a cement contractor, road contractor. And I guess my comment on that is the reward for doing shoddy work is more contracts to them. Almost about $8 or $9 million this year, and the Bunner project still isn't done. So all that time, those engineering department, they go home to wherever they live in northern suburbia and leave us residents behind with the crappy work. So I really think we need to do something about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is David Metzler.
Good evening, everyone. I am here for 12B. I believe that it's a bad idea for the disabled and those who work late to have to sign in at that listed time. Why aren't we doing Zoom? What's wrong with Zoom? I really think we should be considering that. We should be allowing more people to speak, not less. So I'm going to be back on 10B a little bit later, but for 13B, all I got to say is hallelujah, we got a grant writer.
Thank you. Next is Richard Marecki.
Good evening. I'm going to be speaking on 10B about VIP home and development when that comes up. And I think that's a bad idea because it's 138 units and there's going to be 200 cars and there's only one street there and it's going to be a mess. And I thank you.
Thank you. Next is Lori Harris.
Hi, how are you? I wanted to talk about the proposed amendment to the council rules of procedure. And as I looked over the proposal, the only purpose I can see is to stop the people that come in at the very last minute and hang out in the back or hold their paper till the very end, and then they have a little tussle of who's going to be the last one to put their paper in and get up to the microphone. So I guess if that's the only way that you think you can handle it, but I also wanted to mention that ordinance needs to have number 3 taken out. So you are going to need to adjust the ordinance because the ordinance actually says you can only speak at one audience time. And that's not what we've been doing. So I don't want, so I don't want that to be implemented. And I find it interesting that we can get a grant writer for the historical stuff. That's great. But can we get a grant writer for the city? And can we get someone to do marketing, appropriate marketing? Thanks.
Next is Mary Matazinski.
Good evening, Council. I just have a brief comment on 12A. Council President Angela Rogozi discussion regarding the South Warren Community Garden Project. I just want to say I just commend that group for doing that. They worked really hard. They produced, I don't know how many hundreds of pounds of fruits and vegetables. They provided it to the people right there in the area. And I hope we can renew that for 2026.
Next is Joel Vanderlinden.
Joel Valen, longtime Warren resident. I'm here also to complain about the changes to the audience participation. I think it's wrong. I think it goes against many of the good things that we have going on here. Seems like Ms. Rogozi is trying to silence the public, is attacking those of us who are disabled. I think that maybe we should do changes in other ways. One of those changes is maybe unseat Ms. Rogozi from the presidency and having a new member of council take over. Maybe things can be handled professionally, correctly, and more respectful towards all the people. Thank you. Oh, one more thing, the consent agenda. Maybe we should put the consent agenda after audience. So we have the right to talk about the consent agenda before you vote on all these things all at once. I mean, this cement thing on the consent agenda should be on the regular agenda, and we should all be able to yell and scream about another gift going to Zuniga or whoever. If they're not serving the people properly, they shouldn't be getting any more contracts. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Lauren Sandoval. Am I saying that correctly, Lauren? Apologize.
Hey, good evening. My name is Lauren Shanville.
Thank you.
I am here talking about agenda item 12A. Myself, as well as my friends, Jeff Matthews and Zach Carrick, are some of the people who helped get the South Warren Community Garden off the ground, along with Urban Seed, which is the East Point that is the nonprofit organization, sorry, that runs the East Point Garden. It's been a long day. And we were lucky enough to get a lease back in June with the city. It is non-renewable, and so we are here asking for initial discussions about renewing that lease. We've had a wonderful first season. The response from the community has been incredible. We were able to give away probably 100 pounds of food by now. We have 12 beds over there. We really want to stay in the community for a while, and so we're hoping to work something out where we can renew the lease on that property or possibly purchase it. Thank you all for your support, and yeah, take care. Thank you.
Thank you. That is the end of audience. Next item.
Next item is announcements. Madam Chair.
Ms. Moore.
We are having our grand opening ceremony for Station 1 on Saturday, September 27th. The dedication ceremony is from 11 to 12, and from 12 to 4 is the community open house. Everyone is welcome to come. And one more thing, it's not competing with Warren, but if anyone is interested in Passport, Sterling Heights is having walk-in passport week from September 15th to the 20th. No appointment is needed, and it's different times and dates, but it goes to 7 o'clock on the 15th, as well as the 18th, and on Saturday. So if anyone is interested in that, you just need to bring 2 checks or money orders with you. That's it. Thank you. Pardon me? I don't know how much they are.
Any other announcements?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Dwyer.
Yeah, I've got a couple different things, upcoming events. First of which is on Saturday, September 13th at the Warren Police Department. It will be the Police and Fire Open House. And amongst the things that will be there as far as activities for adults and children will be a smokehouse, a bounce house. There'll be emergency vehicle displays, vehicle extraction demonstration, canine demonstration. There'll be a dunk tank. Not sure who's going in that dunk tank as of yet.
You.
Whatever I need to do. Sign me up. And then there'll be different displays there as well. There's going to be a hazmat and tech rescue unit there. There's going to be tank and motorcycle display, EMS display. The SWAT team will be there. So again, that's Saturday, September 13th from 12 to 3 at the Warren PD. Another upcoming event that we have is going to be on Saturday, September 20th from 9 to 2. And that is going to be put on by our Animal Welfare Commission. That's going to be a low-cost vaccination clinic, and that is going to take place at our DPW, which is located at 12801 Stevens. And a lot of the vaccines, and even the microchips, $10 each. That's it. And amongst some of the vaccines that are going to be offered are going to be the rabies, either 1 or 3 year, distemper, Bordetella, and then they'll have package deals as well. So again, Saturday, September 20th from 9 to 2. And as far as when and everybody's welcome, all residents, and it's also open to people outside the city as well. But you gotta remember that all dogs must be securely leashed or in a carrier, and all cats must be in a carrier. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Any other announcements?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. September is Suicide Prevention Month, and so I'd like to remind everyone, if you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is available. You can call or text 988 or visit the Lifeline chat on the State of Michigan website to connect with a trained crisis counselor. Many people, myself included, have been touched by those who have committed suicide. And so in honor of anyone touched by suicide and the families that have been left behind, I'd like to offer a moment of silence. Thank you.
Any other announcements? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Next item.
Next item is 10A, which is a public hearing, subdivision lot split request located on the south side of Collier Avenue, approximately 1,402.97 feet east of Shaner Road, one parcel, lot 48, to be split into 2 parcels, section 36, 14036 Collier, Scott Skelton, Skelton Properties LLC, PSL S 250001.
Is there anyone from the administration that can summarize the matter? Are you the petitioner, sir? Yes. Yep. You can have a seat. We'll call you up.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair and Honorable Council. You want just a little synopsis here on what's going on? It's a lot split on Collier. The lot itself is about 125 feet in width. House sits on the, we'll call it the western part of it. The want to split it so that the house sets then on, for the new part, a 60-foot wide lot that meets the ordinance, and the other part is 65 feet in width. They have received the recommendation from the planning department. They had a shed in the back that, once identified, they quickly removed it. It was not in the right location. Fences along front setback lines or along the front property line, we really don't approve of those, and when we asked to have it moved, they did it immediately. So as far as we're concerned, the site's ready for a new build. So that's about it.
Thank you, Mr. Worth.
You're welcome.
You're the petitioner. You can come up if you have.
Good evening. My
Could
name
you-
is Scott Skelton. I'm the petitioner.
Do you have anything to share?
I think you summarized it well. It's a lot that's wide enough for split into two parcels to have two nice single-family homes. The existing home, we're in the process of refurbishing and getting it back up to standard. It was not taken care of. There were many permits that weren't, before I purchased it, that weren't done. And so we're going through the process of getting the proper permits and making sure it's ready for someone to live in. And then what would become the new vacant lot, the goal would be to build a brand new home for someone to live in there as well.
Okay. If you could have a seat and just stay close in the event that anyone on council has questions. Okay, I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the audience who would like to speak on the matter? Okay, I will close the hearing and turn it over to council for action.
Motion to approve.
Support Lafferty with discussion.
Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mr. Worth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. The abutting properties, just curious, the approximate width of the properties on adjacent to either side?
Is there what? Excuse me.
The properties that are adjacent either side of the lot in question that we're asked to split? What is the width?
Oh, the width, oh, next to it. That's a good question, I'm not sure. I think we stated that the lots were all 125 feet. It's part of an odd plat. They had large lots, but that's about all I can offer at this point. I'd have to look that up.
It's immaterial. I was just really curious as, you know, when we're building new, which I think is a great idea, in this case, fixing up one, building another, what about, you know, the lots on either side? What do they look like? How does this fit into, you know, the neighborhood?
Well, I mean, short of building a really large home, I didn't see that. You'd have to talk to the petitioner about what the home is going to be, but anytime that we can get a new, you know, single-family dwelling, then we're working towards that. So there's the proper setback, 25-foot setback. We did check that of the existing home. I did look at the other homes there from inspection. They all seem in line, or if they are, they might be offset a foot, like a lot of times they are. So it shouldn't affect negatively the looks of the subdivision. So.
All right, fair enough. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
No other questions?
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item. Madam Secretary, next item.
10B, public hearing, request to establish a commercial rehabilitation district pursuant to Public Act 210 of 2005. Petitioners VIP Homes and Development, 8525 Cole Drive, Warren, Michigan.
someone from the administration able to summarize this matter? Ms. Michaels? Mr. Worth? I don't know who's.
I may, Madam Chair?
Yes.
Mary Michaels for the City Attorney's Office. Tom Bomarito has been working on this project, and the petitioner is actually present. Mr. Castanelli is right behind me. There is, a while back, council approved a development at the old Hartsig Middle School, a housing project, and that was approved for Cole Street Investments. Cole Street is now in the process of selling the land to, let me mispronounce this, I believe it's VIP Home and Development. VIP Home and Development now wants to develop 138 apartments similar to the last plan, but he's going to avail himself of an opportunity under the Commercial Rehabilitation Act to seek he's going to file an application to freeze the land, the building value at the current value, at the past value. And that would be maintained for a period of up to 10 years. But he'd pay taxes on the land. That would help give him an incentive to proceed with the development. And he has more information for council. But the gist of the request tonight is to create the district. We gave notice to the proper parties, which are the property owners, the county, our assessor, and just to create a district which would give us the impetus to move forward for the certificate approval.
Thank you, Ms. Michaels.
Thank you.
And I understand the petitioner's here? Yes. You can come up, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Vito Castellana. I'm the petitioner of this project. The reason I'm here is about 6 years ago, I was approved for my current apartment project, which is next door. We built 74 brand new apartments. If you're familiar with the area, it's right next to the Civic Center. If you go down Kennedy Circle and turn right on Town Center Drive, it's the community that's right adjacent to the new Planet Fitness that they put behind Tech Plaza. And it's going really well. We've maintained about a 97% occupancy, and we're real proud to say that we're one of Warren's only community over 25 units that has been built in the past 40 years. So we think that there's a dire need for workforce housing, and that's exactly what this project is. It's pure workforce housing. All of the units will maintain about an 80% AMI. A majority of the units are one bedrooms, about 700 square feet, and will rent for around 1,300. And the 2 bedrooms are around 900 to 1,000 square feet, and will rent for around 1,700. We're familiar with the market because we've been in it for 5 years and have been successful. And we're excited to invest more in Warren. And we did some homework, and I'd be happy to pass this out to you. It's a bar graph that basically tells about all of the apartment communities that has been built here in the past 100 years, and there isn't almost any in the past 40. Furthermore, and I'll distribute this after, and I'll be happy to put it on the record too. Our average age there is 38 years old, with about 61% of our residents being millennials. 29% are in the automotive force, and actually 12 of our 74 units work at GM Tech. So it's really nice. Another statistic that we liked is 40% of our residents work within a 5-mile radius. And then 20% actually commute downtown to Detroit. So we believe that there is a demand here in Warren. There's just a huge void on filling it because Warren is an older community and there's really only infill sites left. This particular community, it was an old school that was abandoned for about 20 years. And this project has already been approved. We're just seeking an incentive to help with the taxes. The taxes in Warren is very difficult to make a project pencil now because the millage is very, very high and the market rents are a little bit lower. Coupled with a higher interest rate, it makes it nearly impossible to build a project without having something like this. So tonight, we're here to set up a district for that commercial rehabilitation tax and also an existing brownfield that we're going to be coming in on the 14th to see this project through. The existing ownership has been trying to sell this project for about 5 years, and we've gone back and forth, and now we solidified a purchase agreement, and I would love to start construction and start building next year if possible. We would have to seek our engineering approvals, of course, but we could think that's possible.
Thank you very much.
With me, I have our consultant that will kind of get into the nitty-gritty of the request. Her name is Elizabeth. Thank you.
I think if you can hang out, if we have questions, council will call you up for additional inquiry if we have it. Okay, so I will open the public hearing. And is there anyone who would like to speak on this matter?
Hello, David Metzler. I live again on Park Place. This area is very landlocked. There's not really any outlet near the church, which originally this property, when it was sold, they were trying to get access to for building. There are 200 plus cars that are going to be put on the road in that area because of this project. And that area is already congested because of Planet Fitness, people going in and out. I've nearly gotten hit from people being careless. This is also right across from Lund Manor, just for reference. So I have concerns regarding, the possibility of rats because this area has had trash in it and has not been cleaned up nearby the flagpole, which it's also, again, this conglomerate owns that property. I would be in favor of a project that would be 40 to 50 condos in the area or single-family townhouses, what have you. But 138 units stacked on top of each other, I just can't support. I also have concerns about parking in the area once this is developed. And I understand that this is just for the district tonight, but these are concerns that council has to think of in advance. So essentially, there's like one way out directly on a 12 mile, which is Lund, and that's it. Cole Street itself, yeah, they can go to the Planet Fitness area, but again, it's gridlock in that area. I'm worried about our property values being hurt. I support low-income housing, but at the same time, it has to be fitting with the entire area. And my property is about 500 feet northwest of this proposal. Multiple stories also lead to less privacy for our neighbors, for my residents here. I'm VP of City Center Square number 6, and I'm concerned about how that could affect them. So I just want to throw out some counterpoints. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on during the public hearing?
Good evening again. My name is Richard Marecki, and I'm the president of City Center Square number 6. And David is my vice president. And what he said is basically what I'm going to be saying and everything else. And it's an ongoing thing with VIP housing and building. They have the property at Town Center, is their buildings and everything, but they do not take care of their properties. Where the flagpole is, that it's always a mess. There's always something of paper and everything else. And like David said, there will be a bunch of, you have 138 units. There'll be at least 200 cars in there because of what the families are going to bring in and that. And I thank you for listening to what I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Marecki. Anyone else want to speak? Ms. Harris, are you coming to speak? Okay.
My first question is, where's Tom Bomarito? Why isn't he here? Why hasn't that information been discussed? He's been AWOL for a long time, and I think that's an important question. I appreciate Ms. Michael's explanation. I remember Ms. Matazinski, and even last night at the planning meeting, when we talk about ingress and egress, and when there's only one way in and out of an area, and how hard that is for the residents and the safety. And that's what it sounds like. You know, I don't know for sure, but that's what it sounds like. But I'm a little bit confused. So they're here for a tax break. They're here for a tax break.
Sir, sorry, Ms. Harris. Sir, you have your light on your phone? You're recording? Yeah, thank you. If you could turn that off. Sorry, Ms. Harris, go ahead.
Okay. I understand financially, what's going on in our world, but I would like to know if Mr. Fox can give us information on how much taxes are we unable to collect because people are tardy or not paying. Because we have a lot of empty buildings, and I'm going to guess that a lot of those buildings, the taxes aren't getting paid by the people that own them. And how many tax breaks are we giving to, like, how much are we losing and we giving away in our taxes to business to bring them here? Because the person that's carrying the load then is me and you and the other seniors who can't afford more taxes. So I think that's, I think we have to be careful. I'd like to know the other information of how many tax breaks, what's the word?
How many abatements?
Abatements are given in the city. How much in taxes are not collected? In fact, how much in water bills is not collected? How much are we missing into our budget because of things like this? Would be very interesting. That doesn't mean that we don't need more housing and that I don't support people working, but why are we giving away tax money when I'm the one that's got to pay the bill? Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. I will close. Anyone else? Okay. Close the public hearing, and I will turn it over to council for action.
Motion to approve with discussion.
Support Lafferty with discussion.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. Number one, this project has already been approved. They can build it tomorrow, and it's already done. Number two, the state has recognized that there is an extreme lack of affordable housing in this state. Warren is included, and that's why they have offered these incentives. We've been doing a lot of research lately in conjunction with the land bank and some other developments that are on the verge of happening, and we are hearing from everyone. It is impossible to build at market rate today without incentives. It's not just here, we're hearing it all over the country. Construction costs for building went up $14,000 in a matter of, an average single family home, $14,000 in 3 months. That's a big number. And so we have to fill that gap. Everybody is aware of the problem. This is, we're aware of this tool, that the state has come up with this tool. They've expanded brownfield and some other things. MSHDA's expanded some things, and it's to address this shortage. And I commend you for trying to get help. That's what it's there for. That's why these tools are given to people, so that they can do these developments and fill in where we need the affordable housing. And you're doing what's 80% AMI?
Yes, at current, we'll be at 80% AMI for all of the units.
Now, are you applying for any rental gap
Yes.
incentives?
On October 14th, we are amending the brownfield that's already in
That's- okay,
place.
okay.
One being because it expires, two, to apply for the gap.
Right,
So
right.
we'll be back on October 14th.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Any other discussion?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Lafferty?
Thank you. Through the chair to Ms. Michaels. The real city attorney. Would the real city attorney please stand up? Thank you, ma'am, for being here. Question for you. The brownfield development or the brownfield district that we established several years ago for Mr. Schaefer when he was part and parcel of this project, is that brownfield still active and within his ownership?
Correct, yes, Madam Chair, if I may. Yes,
Yes.
it is still active. The current owner demolished the dilapidated school building, and he did not receive any reimbursement of TIFA funds. But yet, it's still active. What we have to do is ask for an assignment of that brownfield to VIP Homes and Development. And that's part of the reason I asked Ms. Moore to reschedule the public hearing on the certificate and the brownfield, so that we could get everything together and get the i's dotted, the t's crossed. Because we have to go through the process of assigning the brownfield.
All right. Now, under the current brownfield, was Mr. Schaefer awarded any return on his investment in tearing down the structure from either
No.
From the state, nothing from the authority?
Councilman, I'll check with the state, but not from the city.
I understand he didn't receive anything from the city. I was more curious about where it was left and if there is any liability on our part to make him whole as part of our agreement.
If there is, I'll make sure when the agreement is signed with VIP Homes, that portion will be addressed.
Okay.
I'm
trying-
hoping it's in the city's favor, but I can't
Of course.
answer
Well,
that now.
That's why I'm asking. I wanted
Yes,
to make sure.
it will be
because
addressed.
This is, this continues, I've never seen this before, where, at least in my tenure, I've not seen us reassign a brownfield and existing conditions to, a new developer. So, as long as we've got that taken care of, and then the brownfield will stay in place, provided everything goes well. The brownfield will stay in place, and we're going to establish a commercial district on top of that same parcel. That's what
Correct.
we're being asked to do tonight.
That is correct.
All right, and then on October 14th, we'll be talking about the exemption certificate and the terms and conditions at that time.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No further questions.
Thank you.
Madam President?
Mr. Noonan?
Yes, Mr., let's see if I can pronounce your name right.
Castellana?
Yeah, Vito, congratulations on being nominated to the Board of Directors for the Home Builders Association of Michigan.
Thank you.
And I like the other property that you've already created, the town center. I think those are pretty amazing.
Thank you.
I know that there are some seniors in there too.
Yes.
And it seems to be something that's really quite accessible. How many garages do you have for each apartment in the town center?
All of the units have garages in town center. So there's 74 units. Oh, no, excuse me. About 95% of them have garages.
Okay.
Yes.
So
there's a
each
small,
apartment.
a few one-bedrooms that do not have garages.
Okay. Pretty much they have one spot per apartment.
Correct.
Is-
2 spots per apartment.
2 spots, 1 garage.
Correct.
Oh, so are the garages holding 2 cars?
No, 1-car garage. So assigned spaces, you could park in your garage and then park in the spot up front, as well as there's some auxiliary parking, as well as visitor parking.
Because when I've been in there several times, and I've never noticed any parking problem. I've
No.
always been able to get in pretty close to wherever I wanted to go.
No.
Is the parking going to be at least as, have at least as much quantity per apartment?
Yes, it's still the same ratio.
Okay.
And the new community is there are no garages. So it's all site surface parked, and we do meet the requirement with access and handicap units.
Okay, so there'll be still 2 spots per
Per
unit?
door, yeah, that's how they calculate it.
Okay.
Am I correct in saying that, Mr. Worth? It's 2 spots per unit? Yes.
And when it comes to the issues that we've heard about traffic jams, and like I figure if there's only one way out, if anybody gets stuck there, then that's going to be a roadblock for everybody else. Can you tell us, please, why? I mean, to me, 12 Mile heading westbound towards Van Dyke is a dangerous area with all the retail shops there, and it just seems, I don't know, the way the stop signs and the turnarounds are, it seems like there's a lot of traffic accidents. I don't know if a study has been done about that.
I'm not sure. I'd have to contact the seller. We weren't involved with getting the project approved. It's,
Okay.
we were kind of just taking over at this point.
Yeah.
So I wasn't involved with, it took years between the approval in Brownfield with the current seller to get it to where it is now and for me to take over, but I wasn't involved with that. Myself, I haven't had a traffic study. I could ask the seller if he's conducted one, but I'm not sure.
I guess it's, the project has basically already been approved.
Correct.
I am curious about that. I don't want more trouble along 12 Mile heading into Van Dyke, and I'd like to know that the people in your complex are going to have good routes in and out.
Access, sure.
I don't know whether it's probably too late to change anything about it,
I'd
but
have
it seems
to-
like a valid concern.
I'd have to look into with the seller on where they've left off with it. I haven't had much complaints with our community now. Access hasn't been an issue, and we haven't had any parking issues either, so.
Okay. They seem like valid points, and I yield.
Understood.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes?
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11A, proposed ordinance amendments to Chapter 22, criminal offenses relating to domestic assault and protective order violations, first reading. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11B, consideration and adoption of a resolution to opt in to participate in national opioid litigation settlement with Purdue Pharmaceuticals and Sackler Family and 8 opioid manufacturers, and authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute the Michigan State Subdivision Agreement for allocation of opioid settlement agreement. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12A, Council President Angela Rogency, discussion in Ray South Warren Community Garden Project. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Thank you. So in the packet is a letter that was sent from the Community Garden Project. Lists a number of impact areas. I don't necessarily need to read the full record. It's available, or the whole letter. It's available to the public. But I did want to inquire with Mr. Schroeder on what would be an appropriate next step for them to meet with the administration. I know we kind of scrambled to get another lease or an original lease in place, and would love to know what would be the appropriate next steps for them and council.
Certainly, there was a working group, I know, that the city, and we got involved and had to sort of push it to a conclusion. And so if there's going to be sort of a renewal of this lease. Obviously, the council would have to approve that. But the thought process was there should be a procedure or a process for this, because this is sort of was a pilot project, is my understanding. So my recommendation would be to work with Mr. Mazzarelli, who I know was involved in this.
Excuse me, what did you say?
Mr. Mazzarelli, to work with Mr. Mazzarelli to get it going on the administration end, and the council perhaps could appoint a liaison to work with the administration and bring back either a renewal of the lease or an actual program for this with program guidelines on how you do a community garden if we're going to do more than one. Does that make sense?
Might want to involve the land bank too.
And actually, the land bank would be, that's a great idea. The land bank could be involved in that as well, because it would, you know, my understanding is this was basically a vacant parcel that was used for this project. There was some convenient public utilities located nearby. So those are the things that need to be looked at as well.
Madam Chair?
Mr. Lafferty.
The only suggestion I have, being that this was a pilot program, is based on the success. We talked about the metrics, and they've obviously set the bar to a very high standard. There will be others. So this agreement, this lease agreement, should be a template, one that other groups, you know, that want to establish community gardens through, you know, in other areas, we have a template. We can provide that to them. You have to meet these qualifications, these criteria, find your property, and then maybe with the land bank, Ms. Moore, we locate or we designate certain properties that would be ideal for these conditions.
That was just discussed at this last conference I went to. They're putting in some community gardens along with some of their other programs.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
Thank you.
Madam President?
Mr. Noonan.
So I suppose it would be probably possible, if it was going to be a lease, to have it extend in 5-year increments, perhaps? Or if it was going to, I don't know what the land bank involvement would be. Would that be that the land bank would sell the property to them?
The land bank could lease the property, as you stated. Right now, it's a 1-year, there's a 1-year lease. You know, a 5-year lease might be a long period of time. I would, you know, if the city owns the property, I think from the outset, you might want to discuss with the groups that are interested. We might want to structure it where if there's some other option for the property in the future, that the city could do that. But at the same time, if you have a community group that's putting, it's a nonprofit, they're putting their assets toward this, they might want more than a year, because they're putting in effort and time, and they have assets, equipment, and everything else they're putting towards this. So these are conversations that will have to take place. This was a one-off, and it was done really lightning quick, because nothing was getting done, and it was getting toward late spring, and so it was done pretty quickly. So I think we're gonna have plenty of time coming up over the winter months to sit down and figure this out before the snow melts next year.
Right, it was definitely an issue this year that they weren't allowed to get started until there was very little left of the growing season, yet they've managed to do great, and they've put in quite a lot of effort and material into establishing the place. I think that should be rewarded. So I'm hoping that that can be turned around quickly. Is it reasonable to make a aim for December, that we complete extending their lease by at least December? I don't know. It seems like probably we should have been extending it already, so that they'll know that their growing season, because farmers or gardeners plan ahead. They have to get seeds and so forth.
Certainly, Councilman, if that's the council's direction to make that decision by December, then I'd suggest a motion and get this on the calendar of pending matters and get someone assigned to it and work toward that goal.
I'd make a motion that we get the working group together, and I would make a comment that I think they can be pretty much assured that whether it's a lease or purchase or whatever, we'll do something. So I think you can probably safely start planning. I think there's pretty good support here from everything I've seen.
Through the president?
No.
Madam
Ms.
Secretary.
Moore has made a motion. Do you want to support?
Would you be willing to make that include a December target?
I mean, if it's reasonable, I mean, I don't know that what's the magic of December? I don't know.
Oh.
Is it
Well,
6 months?
It's like better than January?
Oh, I don't know what the timeline
Oh,
is to do it. I don't
December
have a
earlier?
problem setting, but,
Reasonable.
but everybody has to be available to meet, and that's not always easy, but.
Government does tend to move slow.
Is there a support?
Support Lafferty.
Thank you. And then, Ms. Moore, I did meet with a small working group of folks, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago, and it was gonna be sent to Ms. Michaels, which was adjusting some of the ordinance. So
Yeah.
there is some work that's been done. It's just,
Yeah.
slow moving.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, motion and support. Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12B, Council President Angela Rogency, discussion and rate proposed amendment to council rules of procedure.
So moved.
Support.
That wasn't all set
For
up, was it?
discussion.
That wasn't-
For discussion.
No, I just asked. I can't make my own motion.
If you hand the gavel, you can.
Yeah.
If it's your motion, you should, but go ahead.
Thank you. This was, created a kerfuffle, and no way was it trying to be limiting for folks. I'm open to many solutions. My request is figuring out a way of making sure that folks turn in their audience form at a reasonable time, and those get to Ms. Camp and myself within a reasonable time. Not to limit folks from being able to speak, but often there are folks that turn them in later. Ms. Camp might miss them, I forget about them, and it creates a bit of a, just one more thing to manage up here. So that's the intent. I'm really open to how that looks. I drafted some language, or took some language from the city of Troy, which is where this came from, and this is how they manage some of those challenges.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Moore.
I mean, I don't see what the problem is. I don't think we've missed too many people speaking over the last, certainly, 10 years that I've been on council, that I don't think it's, I know people play a little game at the end, who's gonna speak the last, and, you know, Ms. Sanker comes in at the last minute and gets her, and I get that, you know, that's happened historically, that's just the way things are. But someone might also come in late to a meeting, they're tied up, or they could be watching on TV, like Mayor Bonkowski. I think he came down, got in his with his robe and slippers and showed up at the council meeting because he saw something on TV he wanted to comment about. So I think that we have to be open to allow people that opportunity. You know, at the beginning of the meeting, we're usually done within 10 minutes, so I don't think that would affect it that much, and I don't think that's where the problem is at all anyway. I think it's at the end that's where you see the problem. But I don't think we should limit somebody by the time they're here. I think as long as they get their paper in, you know, you can call last call, right? This is, you know, everybody right now, get your, you know, I don't see a problem with you doing that, calling, you know, last call, get your form in, Ms. Camp is gonna pick it up, and then it's, unless somebody comes in at the last minute, you know, which is possible.
Sure.
But I think that might help if you
Yeah,
just call last.
sure. Is that something that needs to go in the rules?
Yeah, we can word it. Mr. Schroeder can word it.
Okay.
That'll
We
make
can
sense.
come up with something like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that would
That's good for
work.
me.
That work? Because I think the beginning is not, I mean,
Yeah.
we're done in 5 minutes usually. So I don't think that's, and plus it's agenda items, it's different, I think, yeah.
Madam Chair?
Mr. Lafferty.
If Ms. Moore's done. And my only thought was, of course, I don't expect anybody to be motivated to come in their robe and slippers, as our former mayor did at one point. But I do know in the last couple of decades, there have been some issues that have been brought to council that generated a lot of audience participation. And when I say a lot, I'm talking more than an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and it was a steady stream. People were lined up out the door waiting to speak. And in fact, I remember my predecessor, Mr. Sadowski, had said something and I liked it, and then somebody else had said something and I didn't like it, and I was sitting at home right next to my wife, and I said, I want to express my opinion too, and got up and I left and went to the meeting and waited my turn, waited an hour, and I spoke. I just wouldn't want to put a rule in that we'd have to suspend the rules just for that type of occasion. So I'm more than willing to accommodate. I think the intention is good. So let's work with Mr. Schroeder and put something together. You know, the gamification that happens today, small potatoes compared to years and years ago, what councils used to deal with back then. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, the motion will be to have Mr. Schroeder draft language to reflect our discussion.
Support Dwyer.
Support
Dwyer.
Dwyer, yeah. Okay, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Sure.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Thank you, everyone. Next item.
12C, request to ratify the union contract between Warren Police Command Officers Association and the City of Warren. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Moore?
Great job, Mr. Fox, Mr. Gaius. I think, have we got them all settled now? Okay, yeah, sure. Oh, fire. Oh.
Good evening, Richard Fox, City Controller. Yeah, we're wrapping up, we just got attorneys, and then, it should be wrapped up pretty quick, and then the last one is fire, and we're in the process. We've got some actuary reports that we're waiting on, but we've got a good rapport with the union negotiating team, and we're just waiting for some of the information to come back, and then
Great.
we'll be back at the table.
That'll be
So,
nice to have behind us.
Yep.
Yeah, glad to hear that.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything you need that jumps out you want to tell us about? Do you think is something new or something important, or?
No, I don't think there's, I mean, I think the main issues were the pay raise. I think they were reasonable, and all the groups have been, I think, very reasonable, and we've been able to sit at the table and work out issues, and so I think it's a good contract for both of them on the agenda tonight, a good contract for the city and a good contract for the union employees.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12D, request to ratify the union contract between UAW 412 Unit 59 and the City of Warren. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is, pardon me? Oh, I have one item, then I'll add you, okay. 12E, which is my item to discuss job postings, and I just lost let me find it again.
So moved.
Thank you. There's
Support Dwyer.
Thank you. One second. So I was reading job postings, and one of the questions I had, Mr. Gayos here, and I don't know that you do the job descriptions, but there's some language that was very confusing to me, and I'll find it, because I had some questions that residents sent.
Yeah.
But one of that next to the pay rate for library director, it makes the comment, does not include contractual increase of 7/125. So that, what that says to me, that figure is going to be increased with the contractual, or is it saying the opposite?
No, it should be what is set in the budget. That could just been a overlap. This is the library director's job description is approved by the library board commission, and then human resources just posts.
Right, so I don't think that language does not include contractual increase. I think it's confusing.
Yeah.
I would not have that. And I'm not gonna get into some of the, I think maybe some of the duties are, I mean, having the library director as a job duty collaborate. I don't think the library as a separate authority has to collaborate with anyone. But, you know, if they're okay with that, so be it. And, okay, the police, city attorney. So it was originally posted that the duties were, that the administrative head of the Department of Law shall be the city attorney, who shall be directly responsible to the council. That is the charter. Why it says the city of Warren. And originally it said is responsible to the council, the mayor, and the department heads. In fact, the city attorney is directly responsible to the council, but provides legal advice in writing to the mayor and department heads. So this is just not correct.
I can check in on those.
Okay, it was just contrary to what the charter says.
Yeah.
So we probably should have our job description match what is legally binding on them. So that would be, and I think that language again is on this job, does not include the contractual. That says something different. I haven't applied for a job since 1976, and I just hit 49 years at my job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I was 6.
I guess real fast, I was brought to the attention of the director of libraries having some issues with the job description. A lot of the job descriptions are provided to us by the departments or the commissions or the committees, then HR will post. But I usually will never have to review, but I recently changed that due to the director of libraries job description having some errors that were
Okay.
brought to us after the fact. So now I have it in my duties to be the final review of everything.
Yeah, because some of the things were in present tense, some were, the tenses and didn't
I mean,
match.
some of them are grammatical, and then we have human errors. But you know,
I know.
I think it's just where, for example, city attorney, it's been posted and reposted and reposted, and I think that the tenses get mixed in, and then there's
Yeah.
no final review. So I've been working really close with the communications department to really get that all shipped and shaped. We've been posting a little bit more on social media with our jobs and stuff. So I'll look into those for you.
Okay, thank you. I mean, it's
No.
not life and death, but
Yeah, it's okay, I
we
got
should
you.
try to get things right. I mean, we make mistakes too. Sometimes we have typos and things in the agendas. I know that.
I see my emails and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, you know.
Well, I see them and I should have said something too, but it's not my grammar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, of course.
Yep. And the next item is legal update, and we should.
Is there a motion on
No.
that? Okay.
No, he's gonna, I just wanted to bring that up. I'm not sure how it should, we should have it as an item on, it doesn't have a number on here, so I don't know how we need to do that, so that, because he has an update.
I was under the impression that if you had one, you would discuss it at the adoption of the agenda and mention everyone.
No, it's to have we want a line item, but, so anyway, legal update would be now.
Okay.
Do I-
What,
what-
what
what-
I- what item is, what number
Well,
is that?
it's under council business and legal update, so it will be 12F.
Okay.
We're just
Do we
gonna.
need a motion for that? Mary's shaking her head. Maybe not.
I can make a motion to receive and file it afterwards, if necessary.
Okay. Mr. Schroeder?
Thank you. We have a lot of exciting changes coming based on the direction of the council. The Housing Commission ordinance is pretty much ready to come back to council. I spoke with Ms. Michaels about that just today. We're gonna have an ordinance to update how the Housing Commission is governed. This ordinance is out of date by 29 years. And there was a change that the legislature made in 1996. There was a Michigan Supreme Court case interpreting that made major changes, and our ordinance was never updated. It has created chaos and confusion. We're going to bring stability to that, so our ordinance matches the state law, and the status of the employees is in conformance with state law. So this ordinance that's out of date is going to be brought up to date. In addition, we have some marijuana ordinance amendments coming, not controversial ones, but some cleanup language where Councilman Boyke and I met with Ms. Michaels and Mr. Mazzarelli and Mr. Murphy from the zoning department and went over a number of cleanup items. They want to streamline and clean up provisions of the marijuana ordinance. In addition, Councilmember Boyke wants the city to consider an ordinance about these home marijuana grows, these caregivers and personal grow where the marijuana can be a nuisance because it's in the neighborhood, and we have some samples from some other communities. So that's being looked at, and we're progressing on that. Again, I spoke to Ms. Michaels about that as well. The civil service ordinance reform, had numerous meetings about that in the past few weeks. This ordinance is out of date by 58 years, which really I checked around all the suburban communities and even the city of Detroit, and we are the most out-of-date ordinance when civil service, I think, anywhere. And the good news is we're going to bring it up to date. The current ordinance was based on sort of the 1960s personnel management model, which really focused on record keeping, and it was more of a reactive approach. Where personnel management, they were the rule enforcers, the record keepers, the labor contract administrators. We now have the human resources model. We have a human resources department in the budget. It was just never put in the ordinance. The cart was put before the horse, but nonetheless, we're moving in the right direction. The modern HR model creates an HR department that will focus on workforce strategies, building a better workplace culture, employee assistance, talent acquisition and retention. Labor relations will be under the HR umbrella. Some of the highlights will include acknowledgement of the Human Resources Department and all of these duties and responsibilities, consistent with modern practices, as well as a changing role for the Civil Service Commission to match these new standards. So that will be an exciting change. In addition, we did receive late today, in fact, I found out after I got here, a favorable ruling on a waste transfer dispute we have in Macomb County. City Council authorized a construction law firm, and we had a favorable ruling today. We will, it's ongoing litigation. It didn't resolve all of the litigation, so we'll provide a special update on that as well. So I can answer any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schroeder.
Motion to receive and file.
Thank you.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item.
Next item is 13B, resolution to grant the historic, am I in the right number?
No, you're.
I missed one. Item 13A, request to approve an RFP for display case for new fire stations 1 and 5, and to appoint one member of council to serve on the request for proposals. I'm happy to do that.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Someone make a motion to nominate Ms. Moore?
I would like to make the motion to nominate Ms. Moore.
Thank you.
Support Lafferty.
Thank you, Mr. Lafferty. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Moore, thank you. Next item.
Next item is 13B, resolution to grant the Historic District Commission's request to hire and appropriate funds for grant writer Ryan Cotton and matching funds if an America 250 Michigan History Grant is awarded to the HDC.
Motion to approve with discussion.
Support.
Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mary Michaels. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. The question I had was Ryan Cotton is the grant writer who has been leveraged by the city before for his services. And it's not his fee that I'm concerned with, it's the matching funds. So based on the category that we're applying for, it does seem lopsided, the amount of money that we have to invest for a potential grant. So is the 15,000 in addition to the grant writer fees, is that sunk cost, or is that funds that we have to have allocated in the event that we are awarded the grant?
I believe under a former contract, it was if we were rewarded. But Mr. Cotton has been flexible in the past.
I understand his fee, the $3,000 for him, but the $15,000 for the matching funds, those are not lost if we do not receive the grant, correct? Typically, with an application, we have to allocate the funds and show that we have that money dedicated to that purpose. So what I'm trying to ascertain here is we really only have a $3,000 liability here, not an $18,000 liability.
Councilman, I'm not in a position to give you an accurate answer because I don't have the backup,
Okay.
but that's something I'd be happy to look into. Unless Mr. Fox is aware of the specifics.
Okay.
Richard Fox, City Controller. I'd have to review it too, but Councilman Lafferty, I can give you a call tomorrow and have it looked up and let you know. Normally, the grants aren't like that. It's usually you apply, and if you don't get the grant, you don't have to have you don't lose the 15,000.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
really
sure
my
that's
only
the way it
concern.
would work, but I'll verify that.
All right. I'm more than willing to carry through with a motion to approve pending the call from Mr. Fox. And, you know, I don't have any further issue with this. I was at the meeting previous month where this was talked about, and with the certified local government ordinance that we recently passed, this is one of the many grants that the historic district is now eligible to apply for. So I think this would be a very good opportunity. And there are other grants within this program that, you know, if Mr. Cotton is successful in this one, perhaps he can get us even greater grants for that area. Our district village is in sore need of a lot of attention. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rafferty.
Madam Chair?
Mr. Noonan had his hand
Oh,
up. Real
okay.
quick.
Yes, I'm curious as how the grant writer was selected. Was that a bidding process? Have they long been established in grant writing for us on that? Does anybody know?
Richard Fox, City Controller. Mr. Ryan was hired under an RFP in the past. His firm that he worked for decided they no longer wanted to be in the grant writing, so he retired from the firm. And then, in this particular case, he was retained to do this particular grant. He doesn't want to be in a full-time position. He's looking just to help with some grants. We currently have an RFP out to get a grant writer, and that process is going on right now.
But he's particularly well qualified based on the work that he's already been doing.
Absolutely.
We would probably have a hard time finding someone else
He did a very good job for us.
at this price with this ability. Okay, I can accept that. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Ms. Moore.
Thank you. So there was no violation of our purchasing ordinance?
No.
Okay. And I would suggest if there's some problem that comes up tomorrow that you hear, we can always reconsider.
Absolutely.
If there's some glaring problem, we have
Okay.
that option if there's a problem.
Madam Chair, once I speak with Mr. Fox, I'll send an email to all council
Thank you.
indicating that.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Fox.
I will call call the question. Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Certainly.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13C, request for an increase in budget appropriations for engineering. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Moore?
I think this just got all confused, how this happened. And this is early in the year to have budget amendments already.
Richard Fox, City Controller. I agree. As you're aware, there's, in engineering, they have a lot of projects. As during the budget process, a position got eliminated out of that department. The director came to me and my budget director and said if we could reclassify an individual in their department for additional duties, she could get by and make it work, and so that's what we presented here this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is audience participation regarding general topics.
Members of the audience who would like to address City Council this evening may do so by filling out an audience form at the right side of the stage. You have 3 minutes. This is for general items. Mr. Watts is up first, and then Ms. Harris.
Good evening. First of all, I want to say I'm disappointed to see that we're advertising for a city attorney. I thought we had a pretty good city attorney all this time, and it's kind of sad that things like this take place. So thanks to Mary Michaels for all you do. Disappointed again. You know, we appointed this Tom Bomarito, and I haven't seen him do anything in the 6 years that I've been attending TIFA and DDA meetings. And then last meeting he stomped out because he didn't get his way, and tonight he doesn't show up for an important project. It's absolutely disappointing. You know, the place that we went through on council at 9 and Hoover is going to be abandoned, going out of business. I think we did an abatement on that. Might want to look into that, because I know we did there was abatements on our vans when they went out, and nobody ever did anything about it. The other administration promised they were going to look into that, and they didn't do anything. So that's a concern. And last thing, very disturbing over the weekend to see a member of our planning commission attacking our police and fire millage. I really, really think that's conduct unbecoming. I can't believe that anybody would do that. Attack money that's going to fund our police and fire department, something we need so badly. But that person doesn't say anything about the triple amount they're paying for school taxes, strictly going after police and fire. And that's very disturbing. I hope the administration actually takes a look at whether they keep that appointment there. And again, I also remind everybody, when I looked at BS&A, he hasn't paid his taxes in 2 years either. So thank you.
Thank you. Next is Ms. Harris. After Ms. Harris is Keith Sadowski, and there is someone that filled out a form that says good citizen. You have to use your name on the form.
Sorry, Lori Harris. All right. For anyone that's watching that didn't watch the planning meeting last night, there was an item on the planning meeting about a mosque on Shaner Road that wants to put minarets up. And the residents appeared and had a lot of really important information to impart to the Planning Commission. And about the traffic, the parking, the hazards, and the disrespect for the people coming to Friday prayers to this mosque. And unfortunately, the people on the Planning Commission did not think clearly and table this matter when they heard all the complaints from the neighbors and concerns. And as an outsider listening, the person in charge of the mosque, I felt really talked down to the neighbors and tried to make them feel like they were the problem because they just didn't accept, they weren't willing to give 35 minutes to let people have their worship. And I found that really upsetting. And if people rewatch that meeting, I think you'll hear more of that. A lot of turning it back on the neighbors, and that's not right. And because we have a culturally diverse city and a culturally diverse planning commission, we have an issue with, despite the information that was provided, it was voted on to approve it by the people on the commission that are Muslim and by some that are not Muslim. But I think that we're going to have a hard time when these kinds of things come up if people aren't willing to listen to all the facts and to pay attention and to understand that you can table something. Doesn't have to be voted on. We could table things here that come to you guys if there are concerns. Like, very interesting that you get a last minute thing for, you didn't read what the engineering department wanted. You didn't read it all out, and we don't have that in a backup. But it sounds like it was changing a position, a classification of a position in the city. And other departments are having trouble with that. So how did engineering get to do it, like, right away? So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Keith Sadowski, and then after Mr. Sadowski is Joel Vanderlinden. Hi, Keith.
Good evening, Council. First, I want to wish Mindy Moore a happy birthday. Her birthday was what, on Saturday, or was it Friday? She doesn't want to comment.
Saturday.
Okay.
Thank you.
I wanted to speak about the hazardous waste day that we had over the weekend. It's one of those services that the city offers that I think is wonderful. One of the problems, though, that we had this weekend, and I don't know if it was just so much participation that we had, but for whatever reason, it took 2.5 hours to go from start to finish on it. So a lot of waiting. And the concern that I have is not so much the wait or anything like that, but if we're going to have long lines like that and it's going to take a while, I'm just afraid that people are just not going to participate in the future. And I'm not sure if it's something that we may want to look at as maybe doing twice a year and see how things go. I mean, maybe next year it won't be as crowded because we had so much stuff going on. Like I said, I think it's a wonderful service that we do. It keeps a lot of terrible stuff out of the landfills. So, and maybe it's something that Macomb, because I think it's the county that helps to put that on and supervises that. But again, my recommendation is that we look at it, and then maybe for that day, maybe what we do is we set up even 2 locations so one doesn't get over flooded. So you could do one maybe even here at the community center and also over on Frazo. So thank you, Council. Good seeing everybody.
Thank you. Next is Joel Vanderlinden. After Mr. Vanderlinden is Wesley Arnold.
Joel Vanderlinden, longtime Warren resident. I'm going to complain about the same thing I've complained the last few meetings. I have filed FOIAs. I have gotten letters saying we received your FOIA. I haven't heard anything since. I've gotten a few denials, which I have put in the proper paperwork for them to be reviewed by this council in a hearing. I haven't heard nothing on that. Has this city stopped doing Freedom of Information Acts? I mean, why are we not getting this information? And we should be getting it. And if we're not getting it from the mayor, this council should be, on behalf of the citizens of Warren, taking her to court. Now, there's a thing earlier today about the announcement about the fire department. The last opening of the fire department, I was looking over all the photos and stuff, and I couldn't understand why Michael Howard is in those photos. Did he vote or do anything for that fire station? No. Does he have anything to do with the city of Warren? No. Has he done anything at all for anyone besides himself? No. So with the opening of this next fire station, will you please take all these wannabes, push them to the side, and have the proud people that did work for the citizens of Warren stand up front and get their pictures taken. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Next is Wesley Arnold, and after Wesley is Gloria Sanker.
I am Professor Wesley Arnold, Warren historian, longtime resident. Thank you, Warren City Council, for your service and for your infinite patience. Just a short note, I used to teach at Macomb College Information Technology for 30 years. Anybody, in fact, public, if anybody, those of you who have Gmail, change your passwords as soon as you can. It has been compromised and they're out there for the bad users to take advantage of it. So if you have Gmail, change your password right away. Okay, I have placed over 2,000 resources on a website, warrenmichigan.fyi. These resources are very useful to Warren residents. I think I got 2,700 lines of resources. I used to be a social worker, so I know just a little bit about resources. So these are very useful for Warren residents. It's warrenmichigan.fyi. Okay, now, council members, you should have, I hope she passed these out to you, a little pink sheet of paper. There is a item here. Please look at this item. I'm not going to give it public because of the seriousness of this. It has to do with rail cars, tanker cars, passing through Warren. A few years ago, another veteran did some research on it, and that was put out in the public. And I did a little bit of research, and then they come by, he went and told the mayor about it, and then FBI come by and searched his house and confiscated all of his research. So I'm not about to go out there and do that kind of research, because they'll be at my house wanting to lock me up. But anyway, read this item, and I also gave you my little card with my phone number. If you can give me a call, I can tell you just a little bit more. I'll be short and quick, but there's a little bit more you should know. And it really needs council to pass a little bit of legislation. Is that the right word? Preventing this certain kind of liquid from passing through our city. I think you can do that. I'm not sure. Legal will have to, let us know. Okay, so that's very important. Please contact me, or you can do email too.
Last of all,
You're at time, Mr. Arnold.
okay, over 2,000 resources on that website,
You're at
warrenmichigan.fyi. Thank you.
time. Thank you. Ms. Sanker, and then after Ms. Sanker is Barbara, I think it's Wyatt. Okay.
Good morning, council. Good afternoon, good evening. As a lifelong resident of Warren, I have lived the longest at 9 Mile and Van Dyke area. All those years, I felt we could do something to revive that part of the city. Fix 9 Mile Road and Van Dyke to invite and welcome residents and others to stop and shop. Now it's just a drive-through with no destination. Those who thought of reviving put in a couple of fast food restaurants. That did nothing to revive the area, to have someone make a conscious stop, to bring any revenue there. We need to copy other successful cities to turn 9 Mile and Van Dyke into an area of interest. That might include colorful awnings for storefronts, classy lamp posts with hanging floral baskets. Coming up with a theme for that area will get some drivers' attention. It could be a feature of Christmas land at Christmas time with numerous decorated trees. This is a sure example of passing the buck by politicians through the years. We are losing too much ground by ignoring problems that aren't going away. They need to be fixed. Will any of you take on this project to make the city of Warren at 9 Mile and Van Dyke a second destination again? 9 Mile is an important part of our city. It's where the city originally started. City Hall was located there, as well as several city departments. It was all about 9 Mile and Van Dyke back in the day. Now, through the years, 9 Mile has been forgotten and little to no attention has been brought there to revive, revitalize, or beautify that once very important area. It's always about money, I suppose, but now we have a solution, don't we? We just approved any and all marijuana pot houses through the city. We are getting millions of dollars as revenue. Isn't it time we take a second look at 9 Mile and Van Dyke and give it a facelifting? Give it some valuable ideas and upgrades to bring people back to that once most important part of our city. Let's renew the South End by renewing 9 Mile and Van Dyke. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Wyatt?
9 Mile Van Dyke was called Garland. Garland.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Barbara Wyatt. I just moved, well, I've been here 9 years now. I was in the 8 Mile area over on what would be Gratiot and 8 Mile. Now we have moved to 12 Mile from Frank moved back because of my husband's illnesses for the hospital's sake. All of a sudden, we have this Moss on Shaner that wants to put up the pillows and all this, and they only have room for 32 cars. I'm in the loop around. It goes in a circle like, for them to come in and come out. They block us every Friday. No consideration, very rude. I've had to call the Warren Police because I was blocked in over on Diana Road and couldn't get through because they wouldn't back up, they wouldn't go forward, and they wouldn't speak my language, so guess what? We got into it, and I just said, hey, shut my vehicle off. I'll call the Warren Police and let them do it. They had them to back up. I was in the right, not the guy. But my concern is, the guy said he wanted to redo the front of the building and everything. That's going to bring more people in. So where are we going to issue the parking? There's only one way in that place, no way out. Car catches fire, everybody's in there. They can't get out, the cars. People's in there, they say it's for 150, but someone counted last Friday, 249 people going in. Fire department won't tell us how many people can go into that building. I'm just concerned, have some respect for us. You know, that's all I am asking. You can't talk to them. They're gonna say, I'm sorry, I, can't do nothing about the people parking on the road, or how they act, or if they flip you off, or they threaten you. I grant you. The guy from the mosque can't. I don't wanna go there. I don't wanna talk to the gentleman, but I want the Warren City Councilor or whoever's gonna do it, because I'm new to Warren again. I'd like to know how you work it. But to me, it's not working out too good. They want to give them a grant for those pillows. What are we going to have? The speakers the next thing, we're going to have to listen to them on a Friday? I don't care to do that. I'm 78. My husband will be 82 tomorrow. His birthday is in September too. But, I love Warren. That's why we moved back. But I'm getting to hate it every day. The cars are whipping up and down my street.
You're at time.
That's fine. Thank you very kindly.
Have a good evening. That is the end of audience.
Next item is council response to audience. Madam Chair.
Ms. Moore.
Some comments were made about Mr. Bomarito not being here, and that's disappointing again. Mr. Lafferty and I reached out probably 6 weeks ago now and had some proposals and some ideas about town center. And we've been waiting for Mr. Bomarito to get back to us. We went with him and said we really wanted to work together. If we're going to get the court and the town center going, we have to work together to get that accomplished. At the end of the day, council makes that final decision, so we need to be cooperating now. We've not heard back from Mr. Bomarito, and there is a steering committee meeting on Friday. I'm not sure what that's about because he's not gotten back to us yet. So, to address Mr. Watts, I believe that 9 Mile business, it's only personal property. I don't think there were any abatements given on the actual property. And what else here? I don't see anything. But it was nice to see you, Keith. Mr. Sadowski sat next to me for 4 years and harassed me. But thanks for coming. Appreciate your service for all the many years you were here. Thank you. That's it for me.
Mr. Noonan.
Sorry. Yeah, so I'd like to reply to what Ms. Sanker was saying. I thought that she had good points about the 9 Mile and Van Dyke area. And there is a Van Dyke corridor plan document which I hope that the council will approve. And a lot of good thought has gone into what we can do to make the oldest part, basically, of our city refreshed. And currently, also, I've been getting complaints about the sidewalks and the roads, the roads around Van Dyke in the south have a lot of deep potholes. And I don't know whether our city is waiting to repair those until after we get going on the Van Dyke corridor plan, or what the problem is. But it's definitely a problem. So that's it.
Thank you. Any other responses? Okay, next item.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.
Good night, everybody.
We're going to be having